So I honestly just find it really absurd that people say they don't believe in energy. Like, firstly, there's so much research out there. Like, you can find the papers when you look for them. And secondly, something that has happened to me, which I just cannot deny and cannot explain by anything else. And I've tried, I'm a scientist, right? I have a background in neuroscience, and I cannot scientifically explain this. So when I left my marriage, which was a heart-led decision, and I came and lived in a holiday home where I'm visiting today, this is why this is timely, that was a heart-led decision, despite my head, despite my logic, despite not even knowing where I was going to live, until this beautiful space opened up for me. And what I started to find was every time I went to the supermarket, there was already a pound coin in the trolley waiting for me. And this happened a few times, and then I would say, pound coin be waiting for me in the trolley, and the pound coin would be waiting for me in the trolley. I then moved to be with my partner and to live with her in her hometown. And when I did this, I would ask for the pound coin in the trolley, and it would never be there. It would never be there, despite me believing that it was there, okay? I fully believed it would be there for me, and it stopped being there. And I gaslit myself into saying, oh, well, maybe I don't need the signs anymore. And this is a long story, which I've talked about in other videos, but moving there was not a body-led decision. It was a logical decision. It was my partner's work is there, so it makes sense for me to go there. I can work anywhere because I work online. And it was not the right decision, right? I now know, looking back on that we don't get those types of synchronicities when we're not on the timeline we should be on, when we're not in the environment we should be in, when we're not in the area we should be in, because energy isn't flowing. We get the synchronicities when the energy is flowing, or the synchronicity might be the sign to say, I don't know what is, but you know what I mean. That's just a gemmerism. I have now moved back onto similar land where that holiday home was. I've moved back onto land, into a house. It was a heart-led decision, and back onto the timeline that I was supposed to be on. Also the timeline my partner's supposed to be on. We've moved together, right? Straight away from the first visit to the supermarket, you will never guess what? The pound coin has been there every time. Different supermarket. 6 years, 5 years later, I get to the supermarket. I don't need my trolley token. There is a pound coin in the trolley for me. And each time I leave the pound coin to gift to the next person, for the next person to have that little boost for their day. And I've tried to explain this with science. Maybe it's the RAS in the brain looking for the pound coin. Maybe the pound coin is only there. I just realised my nose is I'm getting really warm. My nose is going red and the rest of my face isn't. What's that about? Oh, it's really funny watching this happen on video. Hello, Rudolph. Yeah, I've tried to explain it with science, because even when I'm looking and I'm expecting to be there, it's not there. But every time I've been where I'm meant to be and I've followed my body, it's always there. And I always follow my body. So on bank holiday, I didn't go to the supermarket. I got an online delivery because that felt in alignment. And I am certain that if I'd have pushed through that day and forced myself to go to the supermarket, the pound coin wouldn't have been there. My scientist in me cannot explain this. The RAS in the brain doesn't explain this. The only explanation for this type of synchronicity and this type of ease around ask and it is given is energetic, is timeline. Let me know what you think in comments. Have you had something like this happen?